6:53, time for the morning sprint.
A developing update to some breaking news we first brought you yesterday. A 14-year-old and a 17-year-old still on the run in a deadly shooting case in Fond du Lac. One woman is dead, 2 others injured. It happened inside an apartment complex. There is a GoFundMe to help pay for funeral expenses for the 20-year-old victim. Police say neighbors should keep their doors locked as the search for the suspects continues.
Big story today, the debt ceiling standoff. White House economists are warning that if the U.S. defaults on its debt, it could possibly cut the U.S. stock market in half. President Joe Biden is scheduled to meet today with all 4 congressional leaders to look for a solution. However, the White House says it will not compromise on the debt limit.
A high school coach in Janesville is in the Rock County Jail for child pornography charges after admitting to using a GoPro to record more than a dozen underage victims. 38-year-old Brian Kitzman was the assistant track coach and previous swim coach. In his confession, Kitzman said he'd been recording for the last 2 years. There are at least 18 victims.
Checks coming to thousands of Wisconsinites in a multi-state $140 million settlement. TurboTax is paying people who were tricked to pay a fee for free tax services. Around $2.5 million coming to over 80,000 Wisconsinites. Checks will be mailed out next week, with the average person getting about $30.
The Brewers rolling back the barrel in their decision to extend alcohol sales through the end of the 8th inning. They'll go back to cutting off sales after the 7th. In April, the team had extended those times because of shortened game times. A Brewers spokesperson says there haven't been any behavior issues, but extending the window didn't make much of a difference in alcohol sales.
All right, first warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka, 5 minutes away from 7 o'clock. We had all that rain yesterday, some muddy conditions, muddy fields out there this morning. But we do have a little bit of fog, a little haze this morning. Nothing too thick in the Madison area, areas to the east. So are seeing that thicker fog, especially if you are traveling toward Milwaukee. You're going to hit a rough spot there in Waukesha with visibilities near an 1/8 mile right now. 6-mile visibility here in Madison. 52 right now in Madison, 53 in the Dells, 50 in Juneau, 54 in Janesville. The winds are light right now. That's why we've had this fog develop. But sun is strong enough that should be burning that off. Temperatures by the noon hour should be in the lower 60s. Light east winds, less than 5 miles per hour. Should be a nice afternoon. Temperatures headed into the lower 70s a little bit later on today. So as you plan your day, the cloudy gray skies will burn off, and we'll get into some sunshine after about 9-10 o'clock. Partly sunny skies going into the afternoon as we climb through the 60s to the lower 70s. Winds will be light out of the east, less than 5 miles per hour. The first warm forecast, 76 tomorrow, 80 as we go into Thursday. Feeling like summer. We got some spring-like thunderstorms by the end of the week and the weekend.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll be back with the news update in half an hour.